Coming in at only $179, the Donner DST-200 is another great affordable option from Donner for anybody to pick up and start playing immediately. So first and foremost, this video is sponsored by Donner, but as always, all thoughts and opinions are mine. Secondly, there's a link down in the description for you to go check out this guitar for yourself. And if you use the code Flamingo at checkout, you can take 15% off of your order site-wide, not just on this, on anything. So make sure you check that out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the Donner DST-200. So firstly, out of the box, this thing played great. All I did was tune it up and it was good to go. Now, as of recording this video, I have done a couple of things setup-wise to it. It didn't really need to be set up, but there were a couple of minor things that I wanted to address, such as the frets. The frets were a little dull, a little scratchy, so I just took some steel wool. If you've ever seen one of my Make Guitar Shred Again videos, you know how I do that. Just polished them up real quick, and the fretboard was a little dry. It looked a little ashy and just not very good. So I oiled it up, and it looks great. It looks absolutely fantastic now. It's super dark. Really, really nice. And I did lower the action down here just a hair to fit, you know, my playing style. But other than that, straight out of the box, you can plug this thing in after you tune it up and rip away on it. And again, that is very, very impressive for a $179 guitar. Now also with your $179, you do get a gig bag and a couple of accessories. And they're included in the front pouch of this. By the way, these gig bags, pretty good, especially for what you're paying. But aside from that, you get a Donner strap and this little plastic thing right here that contains a tremolo arm, some adjustment tools, and these really, really nice Donner cables. So let's go ahead and talk specs on this thing and the one negative that I found on the Donner DST-200. We'll start down at the body. So with this model, you get two color options. You get this magnificent shell pink, or you get one called void black, which is like a blacked out version of this, but essentially they are exactly the same spec-wise. They're both made of poplar bodies. They both probably weigh about the same. They're gonna have the same setup here. You're gonna have an HSS configuration. I really like the uncovered pickup in the bridge. The uncovered humbucker looks really, really nice. That was a nice little touch. You can split the humbucker by pulling on this tone knob down here. You do get one volume, two tone, a 5-way switch, 6-screw vintage style bridge down here. On the back, there's the cavity here. Again, I've already changed the strings on this and everything, so I've seen the inside of this. It does have a thinner tremolo block, which a lot of people always ask about. It does have a thinner block, but thus far, I've not noticed anything as far as sustain or tuning issues or anything like that. Working our way up to the neck. So it's a maple neck. It's got like a C profile, very, very comfortable. It's got a satiny kind of, not raw finish, but it's a very smooth finish on the back. It's got a skunk stripe on it, which I think is a nice cosmetic touch there. The frets, other than being a little scratchy, were perfect. There is 0 fret sprout, which is gonna be even more impressive when I get to the one negative of this thing. It says it's got a purple heart fretboard, which is cool because I've never played a guitar with a purple heart fretboard. And I gotta tell you folks, when I oiled this thing up, it darkened up nicely. It almost resembles ebony now, which is bonkers to have a guitar like this, to have that kind of look. Ebony just always looks great. Same goes with Purple Heart. But the action's real low. I assume the truss rod works because the neck is not warped, but I didn't have to touch it to do my adjustments. Again, it was just down here at the bridge. So far, so good. I forget what the nut is, honestly, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a bone nut because I'm seeing more and more cheap guitars utilizing bone nuts. Coming up to the headstock here, Donner's big logo, it says it is part of their designer series, and then it's got the vintage split post tuners on it. So if you look at the back, they look like that, right? And then if you look at the front, they have these split posts. Now, I've talked about these tuners before on my channel. Basically, they're like a vintage design. You stick the string down in the hole, you bend it down, and then you start wrapping the string around the post. It's a very, very simple way to change strings. I am a big fan of this style of tuner, and I think it's a great option to put on the DST-200. Now, I've talked all kind of positive about it. let's discuss the one negative, and depending on how you see negative, okay? I think it's kind of cool, personally, but it's something to be aware of. So, the body is a gloss body, right? It's finished in polyurethane, whatever, probably something like that. When you get to the headstock, it's like a satiny style headstock. Now, some of you may see where I'm going with this. The weather here has been kind of crazy. I've only had this guitar for like a day, okay? And when they delivered it, it was very cold. And then I brought it into our house, which is very warm. So the finish on the headstock checked and it cracked. Now, this is not a structural thing. This is purely cosmetic. You can't even feel it. To me, personally, I think it looks kind of cool, but just to be aware that that's not how they come out of the box. It was, when I got it and pulled it out of the box and initially started looking at it, it was not like that. It wasn't until I was cleaning it and stringing it up and everything that I started to go to wrap the strings around the post where I was like, huh, that happened and that's weird. So just be aware of that. But other than that, I cannot recommend this guitar enough. It's very well made, as are all of the other Donner guitars that we've checked out, especially in the DST range. It sets up great. It comes out of the box setup. Let me backpedal a little bit, because like I said, all I did was lower the action down here. It is a fantastic guitar for anybody looking for something under $200. If you're looking for a gift, if you have a child that's looking to learn how to play anything, if you're looking for a backup guitar, you want to get into guitar, it doesn't matter how old you are. Definitely check out the Donner DST-200. I think it's a great option, and when you get the gig bag and all the other stuff with it, I mean, you just can't beat it. And again, you can't beat it when you use the link down below and the code Flamingo at checkout for 15% off of your order. So make sure you do that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative, and I hope that helped you make an informed decision. And please make sure you subscribe. Check the links down there. Thanks again, Donner, for sponsoring the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.